and it seems like they're going to be fine.
This is a great rotate here. We haven't seen a nice wide dead side rotate like this in quite some time. Reminiscent of old Fortnite days, as normally it's hard pressure. No one's allowing anyone to move freely like this, but Muzz and Avery, the vets here, find a moment in space, find a moment in the chaos here, a little piece to go ahead and make this movement. For Zapoxy, though, he is in some big pressure. Launch pads coming out from the zone there. Floppers in hand, though, so that's a good measure to bounce back here. Alongside Zypha, they land right with one another. There goes a layer change on up. And all these pros, you can just tell, it is chaos on all layers. Muzz down low, making it look a little easy as he picks up Boxer here. It's a quick shred through the box there, and now he's gonna have to move on out. The edit's already predetermined here by Avery. Nicely done here, and they're moving like a unit. I love to see this team play in motion here. This is high caliber gameplay. This is FNCS, and someone's going to finals here. Who's gonna take this first win?
Yeah, if you want to look up an Epic Will and Arkham comparison, that's exactly how Avery and Muzz are tarping. The line they took there was fantastic. Keep an eye on the left-hand side, though. Edan and Cody up on the high ground, and nobody is even remotely looking up at him. Storm Surge is raining down on the duos who haven't done enough damage, so that will continue to trigger here. And actually, Muzz and Avery are one of them. 115 below. 3 more players need to go down. Chug Smashes are falling. And if you don't get space, that's the one thing. If you're not in front of the zone, you don't have time to both negate Storm Surge and continue rotating. The zone will end up adding up the damage. Players still are not falling. There's knocks, but no confirmations going through. 2 more still need to go down. They're still below. And finally, they can exhale. They're into the top 30, but the second that happens, Avery's box gets dove right on into, and Muzz says, see you later, I'm out. He will disengage as fast as he can. Zypha picking up yet another knock there. Zapoxy gonna be the one to get the confirmation. They are still just running. That's 6 eliminations for them. They're up on the high ground with the white heels as well. They're in the bottom right-hand part of your screen. The edit's coming through, and Zapoxy is just ripping them apart. Limited number of builds for Zapoxy, but even less for Muzz. In fact, he's on 0. That's the top right part of your screen. Can he find it? He gets the refresh.
Oh my gosh, this is the kind of game you don't see happen very often, but duos turning online here, and the competition is only just beginning, guys. On high ground, it's Rhythm 1K here by himself as a solo right now, maintaining positioning here, putting pressure on Eden and crew down low. He's gonna force them off here, but Zapoxy and Zypha, they are making statements here. There's only one word that can explain this gameplay here. It's exceptional. Okay, Zapoxy now on height. They managed to push the players off, find the Elans as well. What a piece here, and now that rounds them on up to 8. Cones himself out. 2-man team there. That's one. That's a beautiful knock, and another one coming outside the zone. It's a quick shred here. The zone's going to continue to add the pressure here. I mean, Sundown, Zapoxy, and Zypha are looking like the team to walk away with it right now.
No builds on Zapoxy, and look where we're going, out over the water, and you don't want to be a fish out of water with no builds. You'll end up as a fish in the water, and that's what happens. Zypha down 72, or 7W, 32 wanted, taking him out. Going to be able to find the conversion, but Zuck runs right through Zapoxy, and he says, Zapoxy who? It's my show. 7 elims for him. We have a 1v1v2 with Creo and Vert on the low ground being the only duo. They're hip to hip, but the star of the show of game 1 gets edited down, and his scene is cut early. The hook came in the form of the veteran. Creo and Teed pull him right down, and the question is, Monster, 2v1, pulling out over the water. Can they close it out here? Match 1 in NA East. All comes down to this.
They have the material. Oh my gosh, and more mythics are going to reveal themselves here. Zerk's starting to really run out of fuel here, as you can tell. Exactly, he has no ammunition. He's only got an SMG to work with here in Spider-Man hands. This is not good, guys. No other win condition available to them. Now low ground starting to look up here. All they have to do is start firing out here, and it will be their game. Last white TOs come out, so now they know as well. Clock's ticking for them too. They're going to have to go ahead and find the damage here. Otherwise, it could just go the distance, and it's going to come down to misplay if they can't find these extra damage, but they are finding it. Vert and Creo, they're just taking their time right now.
And keeping an eye on the slight pull, it is going to go uphill. If they keep burning through all of their builds, they could end up in an awkward situation where the grid space forces them out. They do have a couple of chug splashes still, so they will have an HP lead, but they keep burning them, which could make the heal off questionable. We still have 30 seconds before we go to it, but here's that slight level change we're talking about. But Zerk is running out of builds. One more build here, and we're just moving over. He gets edited down, and Vert and Creo, 6 elims for Vert. They're going for it. Yeah, it's the bottom left-hand side of your screen, making sure they find that recycled launch pad and being able to go through. Don't forget, Pam 7 Batch did find a supply drop. They had 2 launch pads, used one earlier. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you have Slacks and Clarity. They're on the low ground towards the priority position on the zone. Currently, my eyes are towards that bottom left. Yep, let's go there. Avery and Muzz, that's their own launch pad. I believe that's their last investment. They're going up towards the high ground. They're going to land directly on top of it. Shots come in. Avery's going to be able to find his. Muzz also looks like he's being able to contest towards the high ground. Box to box, hip to hip, not quite able to find it. Avery pushing this other player out. Has the 2 spray weapons, but completely out of medium ammo, so going to be reliant on the reload. Will get the siphon. Still has the med miss as well, so even though there is the white HP ticking, it's not too much of a threat as able to catch back up. And Muzz has that high ground as players are dropping like flies in the elim feed on your top left.
Big elims coming through here. Players getting bent left and right. Now though, Muzz and Avery, looks like they have a little bit of a fight going on here. Little do they know, it's Tieko coming from the backside there. And for a second now, they have to give up the high ground. All that, they look in the wrong direction for just a moment, and you have this fresh duo. Tieko comes up, and all of a sudden, look at this. They are so situated up here. Now though, for the low ground, big beams come through. And that's a punishment and a half. And oh no, where are these shotgun shots coming from? I can't even see it. I don't think Gold even knows where they're coming from. He's just getting clapped left and right here. It's Chubbs. Oh my gosh, the range shot there from the strikers just gonna come through, and the angles here from this elite duo is looking like they're setting themselves up for the win. Not only that, they actually picked up the material too, so everything's starting to connect here on the low ground. Pamster and Fatch looking for a 2v2 situation. It's Casker. They add them to the list. Down goes Smacked as well, and these are huge. Pick up 6 eliminations now, Sundown.
Now trying to make eventually right now match number 2 here in NAE. They will get the refresh over that body right there. Need to find an angle on the zone, taking a little bit too much damage. Will go up a layer. Good change of level there from Pamstow, and you can see he's got it ticking. He's feeling confident. The builds are there, 55, and he also looks up towards the high ground. He says, hey, how far away is it? Can we go up? They see it's just Chubbs up there, but as I say, that Scented Fan ends up going with them. Slacks cuts off just above him. Keep an eye on the left-hand side as well as the bottom right. Muzz and Avery are in a box trying to dive, making the stingers sing, but the rat-tat-tat is not finding enough as Avery gets rebuffed. Back now, you can see just a slight change in the elevation on the left-hand side. Teams are stuck at the bottom. Elite and C's trying to find a way around, but Ring Around the Rosie isn't paying off. Will they all end up falling down as still Chubbs and Scented Fan raining shots down from the high ground? Pamstow and Fatch, they're chilling.
Yeah, all the while, they just have their eyes on the Victory Royale here, waiting for that big splash banner to come through and the win to announce their names. They're not looking to take any risk here. They're sitting back, allowing the action to go down at the bottom. And that's a two-handed, two-pointed sword right there, right? On one side, you can try to earn points to play consistent. On the other side, you have the win condition waiting for you. Players like Avery now have to go way inside. This is a big clutch for him. Those are points earned. Players are dropping left and right here, but there's still a battle between them and the win here. And Scented Fan and Chubbs are saying, out with the old guard, in with the new. They're trying to get this dub right now, and they are still coasting. Pamsto and Fatch, however, are fighting every team on every layer, and they're winning left and right here. Look at Pam go. He is not stopping.
And now it's a 2v2, but Monster, 11 eliminations, and even if they don't get the Victory Royale, they're nearly double the pace of the points right now that they need. And you can see Chubbs and Scented Fan, Pamstow and Fatch, a spot in the finals in NA East. 2 teams who most assuredly feel they should be there and have played their best in this match, but we're pulling out over the grass, and like we said, it is on fire. The 2v2 is about to pop off. Chubbs and Scented Fan are out of mass. They're gonna have to go down. Pamsto pokes his head up, but he gets whacked down like an unruly whack-a-mole. Match goes for the finish, and he loses the fight. Chubbs rebuffs him into spite.
Now, though, he's trying to get clean. Rotate gets caught up there.
And keeping an eye, Pamstow and Fatch on the left-hand side, they're the ones ping-ponging right on that threshold as well, but so many players are going to need to go down. They find some more damage, and Crack is also going to be completely cleaned up. He's trying to get the solo clutch in there, but rotating and doing damage is so incredibly hard. As Cease finds out the hard way, he gets ripped to shreds there. Elite, though, actually going to have a chance to at least box him up and pick up the loot as Cease drops that over. He says, go on without me, but here, it's dangerous out there alone. Take this, as Nevify now in Ritual. Raining shots down from above. health. They have 92 builds still, Monster. What?
This is big. This is enough to definitely just ride out this high ground right now. We've seen many teams do before, but we've also seen teams contest for this. Neverfy, I am not enjoying the way you're building this base up. Yes, there it is. Fortify it up a little bit. It was a little too shaky, my friend. Only on 2 builds there. And now, being so vertical, yes, to come on down, get a little bit closer to the opponents here. It's Tieko in gold once again fighting for high ground. They are absolutely playing for a win condition. We love to see it.
Trying to get involved now on the low ground. Pamstu, Fatch, you can see that. The bottom right-hand side. Elite still trying to run through. He finds a nice little Elim on the backside of the zone there. That's the second one, but doesn't get any of the mats with it. Going to continue working forward. Storm Surge is completely turned off. We'll have our 8th zone tick over here in a second as we're into our top 15 duos. 24 players remaining. We have 4 solo riders running through. Everyone else still has a buddy. Our current leaders are in your top right, and honestly, a great solo effort right now is in your bottom right. Everyone else is in the wide on your left. Keeping an eye on the top right-hand corner. Fatch looking to try and piece that player on the right. He knows he's there. He knows he's in the box. He's just going to let him pass, continuing the trend of playing for the end game as Elite in the bottom right-hand corner in the zone, gets the box off on the player, finds the first shot, but not enough damage. Will he find the second? A huge 108 tag, but no follow-up on that side. He'll cover his 6. He'll see the player down there, but Monster ticking low on builds. Just 2 left. Just 1 left and just 2 storm ticks as we zoom in on him.
Yeah, definitely. Major problem on the horizon, and there it is. He gets chin checked by Serbsky and Shiesty. That's a refresher. Avery's down there trying to scoop up some loot. Little greedy for him. I'm seeing a Liege and P-God still alive as well. Don't count them out because high ground from max builds no longer now. It's a Liege and P-God territory, but they don't have anything to work with either. Very low material counts. It's the Spider-Man hands that allowed them to get up this high. Another Elim for them, and they are racking up points. Now at 10 eliminations, the most we've seen so far. Edgy, where do you think you're going? It's P-God who's here. The tracking looks good. Tahi's there to back him up though, and Edgy is down. Elige now, the only player left, as it looks like P-God might have got to trade it there too. So 7 eliminations for Tahi. High ground's beautiful here. Great harpoon grab for some resources. So it's going to buy him a little bit more time now.
Yeah, but Pamstow and Fatch still going off from the only duos up, trying to end up running through. Right now, you can see 2v1v1. The only duo, Pamstow and Fatch. I said eventually, when will it be enough? Second place in 11 elims in the last game. Ali's trying to do everything he can to find a little bit of room. They're on 12 elims by themselves. He's trying to take P-God with him straight to the finals, but the solos, they go off against each other, and he gets blown up in Tahi with a shred of HP, trying to clutch it out. But
for the ground rotating, this is what happens when you don't have material. You take the risk, you jump in a car, and now you have to connect. And yes, it is worth it. Look at how much they saved. That's about as far as they could have gotten there. What a risky play, an exciting play, and it works out for them.
Yeah, exciting there because we saw, I think it was Tahi there. He hopped in the back. He was like, yeehaw, let's go. Get in the cab. And Ed's just like, what are you doing? Get in here, please. Get in the car. We need to go. And they are able to get that line we talked about on the front side of the zone where you're able to just kind of attack at a 45-degree angle. You take a perfect diagonal tarp. You're able to minimize the number of mats. But Edgy says, hey, wait, there's people behind us. They're on the struggle bus. Unlike us, we got there early. We'll turn around. And he's able to find that, get right back up to his duo. But now they're on the backside of the zone. As we're going to look on the left-hand side, we got J-Man and Quack raining shots down from above the duck, looking for revenge, but Dubs and Mega are just below them. As now we'll zoom in on the right-hand side. Edgy is down, and Tahi looking for a run, currently sitting in 10th place, but with no white heels in the zone on his back, he will be taken down in 18th place.
J-Man and Quack on high ground, though, right now, as they're trying to set things up for the win right here. New players entering on in, looking to make their way to finals right now. 46 points on the day. Not too bad, so this is still a great game for them to keep them in the run. Can they close this out, though, is the real question. As Mega and Dubs are eyeing up the high ground, they get themselves a couple layers on up, and there's trouble in paradise right now. I'm looking at a lot of mythic Spider-Man hands in play here, so there's tons of players that can actually play for high ground. Zuck and Freeze have been popping off all day long. This is at least the 3rd end game we've seen them make it in out of the 4 rounds of Fortnite so far, and it is looking awesome. It's looking like they might be punching up a big ticket game right here. Slacks on high ground again. Slacks fighting for height. Sundown, we were watching them go for it round after round.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Clarity is going to end up dropping there. That was the cost they paid, and if they had been able to take it together, 50 mats might have been enough in the 7th zone, but instead now, Slacks forced down, and he's just going to be playing for as many points as possible because he is sitting in 5th place. He knows, hey, the victory here, while great, isn't necessarily what we need. However, on the other side, Quack and J-Man sitting in 17th and 18th, with only 2 games to play after this, they feel this might be their best opportunity to get a chance to play in the NAE's finals. They want it here. We'll take a look on the wide. We'll see where everyone is, and then we'll swing back on over. I actually think Dubs just went down. I think I saw that real quick there in the Elam feed there. Mega should just be the only one up on that side of Slacks. Continues to solo run 6 builds, 5 builds, 4 builds, and it's down. Looks to try and find the duo on his side. 3 builds left. Sees Accepting Boyle over there. Will he be able to pressure? He gets cut off. 2 builds left.
And it's just
right at the backside.
It is just Mega. Mega's by himself. He's right above him. Into the layer he goes. Slacks finds Mega there on the side there. Catches the 2. Cease and Mega. It's a double point pickup for him. A nice little 2-piece. That's going to keep him in the round. Not only that, the double siphon means he's got plenty of material to work with here too. J-Man goes on up. Someone tries to take high ground from him. And it's a battle for height. It's not looking good for J-Man. He is running for his life there. And down he goes. It's actually Rhythm. Where did he come from? I don't know. But he is up top right now as a solo here. Like, what do you do? What do you do in this position?
Wait it out. Hope that zone pulls back over. Go through the long builds as long as you can. You know there's a couple other duos there. You just want them to fight each other. The real question will come when he's forced to go out over the open space. But right now, Slacks looking for a little bit of room to operate, but here comes the pull. There's the open space we were talking about, and the builds are forced out on the high ground. That was the last of his builds. It's going to be forced to come down. When will the chop come in? What's going on the low ground? Is it another duo is fighting? The 2 duos are on the low ground. That's Accept and Boyle trying to put the shots in, but everyone else is getting pressured out. And right now you can say Accept and Boyle are down. Now you've got a whole bunch of solos running around, and then the duo, Jackson and Fable Taco. Wow. Trying to find a little bit of space, and Jackson says, what other duo? Sundown, Neverfly, 124 to the face, and the immediate cleanup. They're the last duo up, Monster. This is their game to win.
This is what makes a duo so exciting, the amount of souls that can end up in the final moments, but these duos are operating in machine fashion here, efficient and clean. Let's see it though. Rhythm's up top, still putting down shots out of material. He has to be at this point. Where is Slack lurking just around? That's 1 down. It's all solos now. Every man for themselves, and one sitting deep inside the storm line. You could tell right there, he's trying to play the heal off. What is going on here? Is he gonna be having enough? Jackson actually aware, not too comfortable, blocks that side out, opens it, finds him. Ritual has mats. Here comes a fake out. Can he pull a Nick 830? I don't think so. Jackson's out of there. The storm does the rest. Nicely done. It's still a 1v1 Jackson versus Rhythm here.
He's got the space, he's got the mats, but Rhythm has no mats. He has the HP lead. If Jackson overbuilds here, he might actually just end up giving the victory royale over accidentally, but instead...
Cracked is going to find a couple shots here. These are great tags, by the way, and a steal on the elimination there as he gets the final shot off. Perfectly done for him. That's going to give him another little point swing here. Clarity and Slacks, however, are under some big pressure. Down goes Slacks there. It's up to Clarity. No, he gets wiped out in 23rd, only earning 2 placement points, and that is to Spexy, who has finally now made themselves another endgame appearance after that game 1. They were a little bit cold, but is this the place where they finally come back and answer? Cease, however,
heat up.
No elims for Cease and Duo still. Remember, they play for placements all the way.
No elims, but they're nearly 500 Storm Surge damage above, so they can just chill and keep playing in that regard. While everyone else is going to be threatened. A third of the lobby right now is going to be threatened by that Storm Surge when it comes down. But bigger, the rotations are dropping people like flies. Right now you can see Fable Taco ended up being costed on that play. We talked about what a great position they were in, but all of a sudden now it's Jackson as a solo just continuing his run. Nexi with a still great individual effort picking up a pair of elims, but you also see Tahi got a pair on the right side of the screen. Edgy and Tahi trying to make a run at it here in the later zone as we're into our top 20 trios. The placement points continue to keep taking over, and right as I call a name out, Tahi unfortunately ends up being taken out. Jackson now under a little bit of pressure. That's the left side of your screen. On the right side of your screen, Edgy on the back side of the zone, but gets a little bit of a bounce back, gets a little bit of a line, and he'll find a great rotation the front side of the zone.
Cease found J-Man too, so the first elim on the board here for Cease. Nicely done. That's going to bring him on on up to 7 overall in the tournament, the least of our players inside the top 6. But hey, you do what you need to do to earn your placement points. Cracked, however, is on the other side looking for Elims here. That's going to be a huge tag there. It's going to go for the finish. A little bit of greed sets in there, and no, instead he backs off. On height though, Elite and Cease managed to come on over, and it only took them one Elim to do it. One well-timed, executed Elim here, and all of a sudden now the world is in their grips here. What can they do? Veterans in play here though. Jackson and Fable Taco. No, Fable Taco down officially here. Jackson slides on into second place, but it's so close. If they go down now, they're gonna slip down a little bit, and they do.
He went down, but I believe one other player went down before him, so he finishes in 13th, but then 14th. Just one extra point going through as we're going to swing it back on over. Larson and Smite trying to challenge towards that top 6, currently sitting 98 points. They're looking for triple digits. Bottom right-hand side, Cracked continuing his run. He's on 6 eliminations by himself. A couple more will trickle through. They're on 8 as a pair. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen, Elite and C still holding that high ground. They're currently sitting in 3rd place. Anybody who's in that top 6 will be happy to see them end up going through, but Cracked gets his shield. Cracked himself. It's all going to be on Owl with no builds on the backside of the zone, just spraying away with that SMG, trying to find a little bit of space to pop that small pot, and he'll do it. Larson on the top right-hand part of your screen has the pepper popped, and he's looking to pop some of the shields on the backside of the zone. Finds a huge shot there onto Flood, who will just get drained away, and then he follows up immediately. The Stinger swap hits some of his shots, but not all. The Iron Walls end up going down in his face. The Peace Control and his duo will end up cleaning it up, but Voil also ends up getting a pair on the other side.
And there's a big battle on low ground here between Larson and Smite. Smite's still going to stand up now. 7 eliminations. Look at high ground. High ground's actually no longer safe. Cease and crew have also been fighting for it, defending off players that are trying to go on up. There are still Spider-Man hands and Mythics in play here. Voil and Except hunting down this low ground all the way. Look at this. Cease and crew just barely holding on. Moo is sneaking up from behind though. It's not completely over. Smite finds one. That's onto Voil. Nicely done here. That's 8 eliminations in total. Little Siphon to stay up. No more math for him. And now Wanted and Moo are on high ground. Cease goes down. No victory for them just yet. And an exchange from Smite. Smite is going crazy. This heavy shotgun from range. I want to see that from the other side. That was insane. But Moo, what can you do here as you have to clutch this one up? You are basically in a solo now. His teammate is down. There's only one other duo alive, and it's Spegu and Charlie.
Yeah, and then second place, Owl just trying to get as many points as he can going into the last match. Really wants to cement himself into the top 6. And the 1v2, no builds, MIH, Mulabuka, Spegu, and 33 Charlie. Will Spegu and Charlie be able to do it? They're in 13th, so still plenty of chance for the top 6 for them, but they want to cement it right here. Mulabuka trying to get the pressure down. He has plenty of bullets, plenty of shields, but Monster, no builds, no white HP. That's going to make a 1v2 in his win conditions very limited.
I almost want him to just fake the launch pad. I don't know, throw some mind games around right here. This is going to be a very tough fight to win here. Charlie and Spegu, they've been in these end games before. They know what to do. They work together. They jump up and they close out the game. Shout out to the communication from Gold. Probably just let him know there's a little bit more heals left here. Armored Wall comes down. Don't throw down too many of those. Be careful. You can't edit those. Here it is. One more Storm Surge, and then it's the final opportunity now. Just a single player has to go down, and everyone knows there's one desperate man out there, and that's why they are not making edits. They are not fighting. They understand it's not us, it's you. And everyone nearby is probably a risk, and no one was willing to take the risk there. That's what just happened.
Right now, we got 4 solos running through.
Now the shots turn back on. It's over.
Everyone opens up, but Mulabuka, somebody who needs Elims, he finds it onto Spexy. Unfortunately, Zypha is out, so despite the amazing effort in match number 1, their car stalled out, the engine failed, and they're left on the side of the road waiting for the bus next season. So we have Neverfly in the bottom left, Mulabuka in the bottom right, Larson on the top. 115, 114, and 112 now. Only separated by barely an Elim each way through. They'll be able to go through just keeping an eye. Does anybody go down as they all have their duos up? But right now, the big difference, Wanted with no shields. Otherwise, everyone else is mostly 100-100 as we get into the 6 moving zone.
Dude, Moo just literally Mythic Spider-Man his way across, hit a floor, and almost, I swear, looked like he was gonna take fall damage, but he managed to survive. Now he's split up from his teammate. They managed to find one another. It's getting very, very intense down here, but also for Larson and Smite, they're just holding on. 119 finally. Look at how close it is in the standings. 115 means that, oh no, Wanted falls. They're at 116, 2 points from 4th place. One single elimination will jump them up to 4th place. No one is safe right now. Not even Smite, not even Larson. Cease is going to fall in the feed there. Have they done enough? They did. However, we're leading just by a little bit here. I don't think they had enough Elans. They've been slow on the pressure there on high ground. Sparebow and Burbs, where in the world did they come from? They're now trying to run up this end game here. So is Mega. Mega's still alive here. Sparebow versus Cracked, 1v1. Burbs is going to fall there. So now it's all up to him here. What can he do now? No longer in control of the high ground here. Another team's going to go in and control that. Fable Taco's going to fall there too. Oh no, another contender is down. Moves in 6. He's barely got HP though. Keep him counting here.
Yeah, and Smite and Jackson 4 and 5 directly on top of each other right now. 6th place. Mulabuka, no more shields, but he's swimming and finding a space. Shield cake put down, and honestly, oh no, it slid away from him. He didn't notice. It's just sliding casually away from him. He's taking the damage. And you talked about the streams, Monster. You have to be aware of where the current is flowing, and instead he was washed away. Same with his chances as the FNCS finals. They go down the drain. Quack up on the high ground, trying to spread his wings and fly, but he might need to dive down and get his feathers wet in the water as he only has 4 builds left. Still 14 duos up on their feet. Clue on the high ground with Danny, who also is sitting on 3 floppers, has the win condition in terms of the heal off, but we haven't seen matches go that long yet. You can see Sparebow picking up an Elim there right after he ends up going down, as Mega still up trying to find the challenge. Jackson in 4th place, low ground. No builds, no mats, 1v2. He opens up, but that's the wrong door. Haven't you ever heard of closing it? He says no as Clue finds Owl on the backside. That's their 5th Elim, Monster, but the Elims don't matter. They need the dub.
They need to win this game. They don't have enough points. Otherwise, it's all about the victory royale here, and they're fighting. They're actually fighting, trying to defend this height as Chu tries to come on through, but it is enough for them to go ahead and secure it. Dubs and Mega also need this victory royale. They're somehow holding on. 2 mythics in play here. They can make a couple plays here if they look up for high ground, and they're thinking about it, and they're evaluating the situation right now. Yes, he also has him. Here it is. Swings on out, playing for the front side of zone. They're trying to play for these Elans, playing for the end game. It's a low ground position. Beautiful lineup right here, but the high ground is open. Gotta be careful, Dubs. He knows a little bit better than that. Mega, few layers above here, so a lot of information in play. Dubs now, sandwich, crushed down below. No suffocation in place though. Dubs goes all the way up. Beautiful shot. Big clutch comes through. Nice shot there. Zone's doing the rest. This guy does not have any health. Dubs might actually clutch this up. He now has control. The mountain is actually perfect for his positioning here.
But he has no more mats, he has no more mythic gauntlets. He's relying on the old builds. He's looking back in the zone. He needs the siphon.
Oh my gosh.
You talk about shooting fish in a barrel, but Dubs, the Spider-Man, he comes right up through. It's Coop looking to rip it away. Dubs trying to push it back down, but Coop does it himself. He falls down, but it's pulling away. There's only one mat, catches himself, denies the fall damage. It's Dubs on the other side. The winner will go through. It's all about the W. Dubs trying to mine the brick, gives himself a little bit of room. High ground taken away, trying to find the shot. Serbsky, will he be able to get it? Konet, it comes through. Dubs misses the first, misses the second, and Dubs and Mega, the veterans, do not make it through. The FaZe boys fall in the final moment, and Serbsky rips the run away to claim the final victory royale spot in NA East. We'll have 6 more to it.
What a game. Serbsky flying on through at the end there, keeping it extremely exciting, and that is the power of the mythics in play. Flood and Serbsky out of nowhere come through. Power of the Shiesty tag, I think, is just the name right now. A few players just literally clutching up when it matters most. Take a look at the winning shot right there. Both players.
Serbsky and Flood join those 5. The famous 6 going through there to the finals next week. And let's look at the final leaderboard, the top 6. Vivid, who are we looking at, baby? They've done it.
Wow, look at this. 27 eliminations for